What a finish we had in Omaha. It is the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pepper Jack's Grill, Pyramid Contractors, and Sinovation. Casey Matthews, Creighton comes back 69-68 on a last-second three-point effort by Nick Graves to send the Pirates home losers, send the Jays back to their home base winners. Creighton erased a 12-point deficit with 3.5 minutes to go, and they pull out a win at home.
Unbelievable finish.
We watched it live. Still can't believe it.
Yeah, look, I think I haven't even really had a chance to process it and come up with some thoughts here. I will tell you this though, to stick with it, not give up. I mean, there are people leaving, and frankly, can't blame them in certain situations. You're like, all right, well, this one's over. But we never lost faith up here, and neither did our players. And so I think it just shows you, one is every single play matters in these kind of games, and that's why coaches get so upset with players when, you think, coach, it was just one turnover. Well, that one turnover for Seton Hall allowed us back in the game. I thought the play that really ignited things for us was actually the steal Jason Green had.
Yep, I was gonna highlight that.
And dunk. I thought that really started the kind of the chain reaction. Obviously, hats off to Fedor, hitting the 3 free throws, hitting the 3 in the corner. I mean, we're not sitting here happy right now if it weren't for that. How crazy was just the last play in general, though? We almost turned it over twice.
Yeah, and it was a stall out. It kind of looked like they were designing a motion for Josh Dix. It wasn't there, and Nick Graves had to pull a step back 32-foot 3-point shot. He was way, way beyond the line.
Yeah, and I can't wait to ask Lou.
Yeah, Creighton Assistant Coach Jeff Vanderloo is going to join us in the Sinovation Coach's Corner here in just a few minutes, but I expect him to be very happy, by the way. What a win for Creighton.
I want to know what the actual play was designed for, because my assumption was they were going to try to get to the rim. I don't think they were drawing that up for a 3, but
yeah, just a 2-point game. Creighton was on an 11-1 run at the last minute 26 to cut this game to a 2-point deficit and obviously take a 3 to win it. Yeah. And the thing about Nick Graves, too, in that situation, why I agree with you, and I don't think he could have been drawn up for Nick. Nick had 4 fouls. So he was put in a situation where not only do you have to win the game, but he's got to be very cautious about the way he does it in case they score and you get to overtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a valid call. I'm really excited to ask Lou about that, because just knowing Mac, I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, so Josh Dix was running a crosser and he got caught up in between 2 Pirates, and Nick hesitated with the ball, step back 3, and the rest is history. But it just looked like they were trying to clear Josh to the rim.
Yeah. Whatever it was, it worked. I think to overcome 18,
I think that's the important part.
18 turnovers and still find a way to win that game. It's phenomenal.
So I think it's important to point out the 18 turnovers. Absolutely. They had 16 with 9 minutes left. So they cleaned up the last 10 minutes of this game and played their best basketball where it mattered. I want to also talk, we highlighted Jason Green and his putback dunk, and I think it deserves it. But I think it's also important to point out that he only had 2 points at halftime. He finishes 5 of 9 from the field and has 11 points. He had 7 important rebounds as well, and it kind of feels like he's been the missing piece of the puzzle over these last couple games where this team has struggled.
Well, he was in the second half for sure. Obviously, Isaac had 15 at half, had 3 in the second half. Without those 5 threes he hit in the first half, we're not even able to really hang around. So it was, to me, it was a total team effort. I was happy for Jason to kind of get rolling. I thought that steal was just so big. Also added 7 rebounds today. So, Jimmy, can you talk for 1 second? We got our guy Jeff calling us. Let me see what's going on.
I'm assuming that's Coach Lou. Okay. It's listen, the Jays tonight, we'll go through the leading scorers. Isaac Trout, the game of his career, arguably, in a Blue Jay uniform. He finishes with 18 points, 6 of 10 from 3, and he started off 5 of 6 as well. Fedor Zugic, you mentioned him. He gave a ton of effort tonight. He finishes with 13 points. Josh Dix with 16, and the aforementioned Jason Green with 11 as well.
He's on the way up, so we're gonna get to hear from Coach Lou here in just a couple minutes. But look, I we should talk about Seton Hall for a second too. Bud Clark had 20 points tonight,
and he was the catalyst in their win out in New Jersey too.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting too. Is yes, 18 turnovers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we handled the pressure well or that we did well in terms of taking care of the basketball. But for the most part, I mean, would they have points off turnovers? I mean, they did have 23 of those points off turnovers. So again, it's just I thought that number was actually lower, but to overcome 23 points off turnovers, I mean, it's a third of their points. Like it's. I'm just really interested to hear what Lou has to say, because typically in these kind of games, and we thought it was starting to get out of hand. We're down 10 with 7 or 8 minutes left in the half.
Yeah,
and
it kind of felt like Seton Hall was 1 or 2 possessions away from closing the game out. Even at that point, Creighton obviously responded not only on the offensive side of the ball, but maybe more importantly on the defensive side of the ball, where there's been a lot of deficiencies about this team this year.
Yeah, certainly. And look, Seton Hall to me they're not a very good offensive team, and they really haven't been under Shaheen, because that's not his calling card. His calling card is defense, it's intensity, it's effort. It's all those things that allow them to go into an opposing team's gym and compete. But I do still think, and you got a guy like Bud, like he can get to the rim. He can make plays for other people. I thought we did a really good job on Simpkins today. He had been rolling as of late. So overall, I'm pleased. I think I'd say with what we did defensively. Offensively, though, the other side of this is we didn't have Austin tonight.
Yeah,
and so to shoot 43% from the field, 43% from three, I think we definitely have to call that out and just notice again. You talk about Isaac Trout, but this might have been finally the game that kind of allows Fedor fans to really like pump their chest out a little bit.
Maybe the Fedor Zukic breakout game that people have been calling for 2 years.
Some have been calling for that game for a while, but it's one of those days where look, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. What do you go 2 for 4 from 3? Like it was a really good game for Fedor, and on a day that we really needed it.
And I think this is the breakout game that Isaac Trout has been waiting his entire career for. I mean, to start the game 5 of 6 from 3-point land. He finishes the night 6 of 10, but it wasn't like they needed him to hit those shots later in the second half. I think him giving that offense this spark early in that first half, we're not even having this conversation if you don't get that type of productivity in the first half.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think him coming out hitting those threes early in the game certainly set the tone, for us offensively, and allowed us to find some rhythm, and it really allowed us to keep the floor spaced. I felt like tonight we got into some trouble offensively when we allowed their pressure to dictate our pace. And that's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to fall into that trap, because that's why they pressure the way they do, because they want to create possessions. They want to create just chaos.
They want you to think about it.
Yeah. Exactly. They want you to be thinking that somebody's behind at all times. And I think what they did in the second half was they seemed to go away from Nick bringing the ball up and initiating offense,
which was really surprising.
Well, no, I wasn't surprised, because that plays into Seton Hall's hands with Bud Clark, because Bud's going to guard the point guard. Bud's their best defender by a mile. And what he can do,
one of the best defenders in the nation.
Yes, but for 40 minutes, he can climb up into you. He can make it hard to initiate the offense. What do I mean by initiate offense? Get down the court, get your players into the position that they need to get into to run the set, to run the play. If you're being pressured and you can't get to your spots, other people have to move so that they can release pressure for you. When you give somebody else the ball, like it was Blake sometimes, it was Josh Dix.
Well, I want to point out it was Blake early, and they tended to get away from that because Bud Clark was doing his thing.
Yeah, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is it allowed our offense to run, and I think you pointed to reducing the turnovers over the last 9 minutes. I think that's a big part of it, and I feel like it was a very good adjustment on behalf of Mac, on behalf of Huss, to make that change and to allow somebody else to initiate offense. Keep our turnovers, down. Keep the game within reach. Games like this where you get down double digits, you just don't want to let the game get out of reach to where you can't do something drastic like we saw in that last minute and a half. So kudos to those guys for making that adjustment. I think it was a big deal.
And I apologize. I don't know if you mentioned this, but they started running it specifically through Josh in that last 5 minutes, which I think opened up a lot of the floor, really, because Josh kind of draws the attention of the defense anyway. So if you can clear up the rest of that space on the floor and let the floor space out the offense to where you can get guys open, that's obviously going to have a tremendous amount of benefit, especially with the way this offense is designed to cut and angles of the cut and the way they're supposed to use the floor to get your ideal shot. To me, that's really what opened up this offense. Now, I don't think anybody say what you want about getting Josh to run the action and run the offense and taking Bud Clark out of the equation. I don't think anybody saw Creighton go on an 11-1 run to win this game.
No, that those kind of runs take big shots.
Yeah,
I mean they take guys being willing to take the shot and make the shot. So, but overall, I think what happened was we really did. I don't want to say took Bud out of the equation because you can't ever do that with a guy that
they isolate
can impact that much. But they basically took him away from slowing down our offense and making it hard to run our offense. Nick isn't the focal point of our offense. You look tonight; he took 7 shots.
Yeah,
you have Jason Green took 9, Dix took 14, Isaac took 10. Right, so are your other guys that started took way more shots than Nick. He's not. Again, I said this months ago. If Nick's our leading scorer and our leading shot taker, this offense and this team isn't going to be very
something's
good.
Going wrong.
Nick has to be the one that just sort of runs things and then takes opportunity. He takes opportunities when they're there, but he can't be forcing the issue offensively. And so what I saw was putting Bud in a position where he was going to have to try to find a way to dictate the game defensively while not guarding the basketball. And that takes a different kind of player. And frankly, if you run your offense and you keep the ball away from that defensive player, it's very hard. It doesn't matter who you are to have an impact on the game defensively when a team is making an adjustment like that. So it was to me, just that adjustment was huge and something that I don't think we should overlook. Go ahead.
The interesting thing about this, and say what you want about not playing for anything or nothing at stake. This is essentially the de facto 4th place spot right now in the Big East in the Big East standings, which is obviously huge for New York and not having to play on that first Wednesday. And that's something that Creighton is absolutely still playing for. It'll be UConn and St. John's in a deadlock. UConn obviously has a half game advantage there, but the Johnnies with the win over UConn last night. Villanova, who has to come here and play on Wednesday?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Next Saturday. That's right. It's the next home game, not the next game. And then Creighton, Seton Hall, spaced out by a half game as well, but obviously Creighton on the right side of it tonight. So the Jays are looking at a top 4 seed in the Big East tournament, which no, it's not the positioning we're used to and accustomed to fighting for in February, but it's still something to dangle the carrot for this team.
Well, I think it's a heck of when you look at where we were and where we were 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
Where we were 15 minutes ago. It's you're looking at what you just don't know what you're going to get. And so to me, for this win, this one is gratifying for me too because of the way we finished the game at Seton Hall. I think this was a really, really big moment for this team. But so it's super gratifying from that regard, but also, yes, you don't want to be playing on Wednesday. There's so much more pressure. It's not as much fun. You want to be a part of the tournament for more than a day. And so to guarantee yourself not playing until Thursday is a big deal.
Pesky Blue writes in on YouTube saying that they love the way the guys left the floor fired up and finished this. And listen, I agree with that statement, but I don't think this team has ever lacked fire. I mean, they have always played for each other. It kind of feels like I think they've lacked athleticism at times. I think they've lacked knowledge of the system. I think they've been beat up by injury, but it doesn't ever seem like they didn't care. But listen, sometimes this has been the theme of this season. You got to learn how to win, and tonight was another step in that direction.
Yeah, no, I think these players have always cared. I don't know that they've always understood, and I think that's something
a fair assessment.
We've heard from Mac quite a bit. Is that and I think some of it actually we had a comment on one of our posts or one of our videos that's kind of talked about this is when you bring in players from programs that aren't traditionally winning programs, you have a bunch of guys that really haven't won consistently. And when you're not winning consistently, there's what they say, like winning leaves clues. Well, so does losing.
Yeah.
And so you can point to certain things, and a lot of those things are culture. A lot of those things are, I mean, sometimes you're playing for a coach that's not a very good coach. I think that's fair sometimes. But there's I'll
let Mac know how you feel.
No, I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying the guys that they brought in. So you get here and you're not used to playing for somebody who really knows what they're doing at the level that Mac and the staff know what they're doing. And so, I think that's sometimes you have to earn these guys' trust and or you have to demand that they just do what you tell them to do, which is something that Mac has touched on earlier in the season. So it's been nice to see some of that change. And we got Coach Vanderloo coming in. Oh, he's busting. Jimmy's busting coaches'
chops,
cojones.
Yeah, there you go. Great assistant coach Jeff Vanderloo now joins us on the Sonovation Coaches Corner. Coach, got a win tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah. Everybody was all fired up. I said this was not a bigger comeback, whatever you want to call it, than what Seton Hall did to us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Seton Hall. So it was but
a little bit of an eye for an eye.
What goes around comes around, I guess,
11-1 run down the stretch to close it out.
I thought we were down 10. Yeah.
What did you see out of this team, and how did they respond?
Well, they fought good, and they fairly executed fairly good. And Fedor, the last couple of games late has really been pretty good. We need to kick him in for the first 35 like that.
Just have the scoreboard operator put 4 minutes on the clock and tell Fedor, just look at that.
Exactly.
Hey, we were talking about this, and I'm there's a couple things I want to talk to you about tonight. The last play.
Mm-hmm.
Was it supposed to be a 3-point shot, or were you guys going to try to get to the rim?
No, we were trying to, but they switched everything. Mm-hmm. They switched the first 3 things, and Nick just kind of ended up with it with 3 seconds left. And usually when they switch, you can slip out, but it didn't. We just didn't get what we thought we were. But sometimes people are better than the play.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah.
The other thing was the adjustment to take the ball out of Nick's hands relative to initiating the offense late in the second half. I thought it was a good move because it took Bud Clark off the ball and allowed us to initiate our offense without him being in the way. Can you talk about that adjustment?
Well, we were a little concerned because when we played at Seton Hall and we tried to do the same type of thing, what they did was Bud just stayed there and guarded whoever had the ball.
Sure.
And so then that would have given us a little bit. We like kind of Shane came in there, and then we had Josh and Fedor bring it up a lot. But we had Jason Green bringing the ball up for 3/4 of the game. It worked great. And then what they did was they said, you're going to have Jason Green bring it up. He's going to bring it up on Bud.
Yep.
And so that caused us some problems.
Obviously a mismatch. Sure.
Yeah. So,
but it felt like with Blake and Josh, and again, I have to maybe go back. Maybe I'm wrong here, but it felt like they didn't do that. Like Bud wasn't in the ball.
Not. Okay. They did not. No, they actually, I think Josh brought it up all the time against 23 Williams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was who was, and it's a lot better option.
And Josh did a fantastic job against Mike Williams tonight as well.
No,
almost making him a non-factor.
But question. Talk about Bud and how he has such an impact on the way that you initiate your offense.
It's crazy the things he does initiating the offense. And we watched a lot of Bud this time last year because we knew he was going in the portal, and he didn't shoot where he was at. He didn't really shoot it great before. And he wants that ball in his hands all the time, and we kind of try to play a little more ball movement type stuff, but he's a fantastic player, and he dominates the game. It's just, does he dominate it to the win or dominate it to the lose? But he definitely has the ball. He's a really good player.
Tonight, obviously massive for several reasons, looking to get back on the winning side of things, but also now firmly in 4th place in the Big East. What does that message sound like to this team after this win?
Well, we've kind of been through some downs lately. So to be saying right now we're in 4th place,
amazing.
I know there's a few people out there that are going, that's not good enough, but for where we've been, that's we're pretty happy about the way things being in 4th place by ourselves right now.
And the difference starting your first game on Thursday versus Wednesday.
Yeah, no doubt. And you get the way the seeding and stuff goes, and you get saves you one game. There's no question about it. I don't want to say you can't possibly do it coming from from all the way with playing all those games in a row. It's tough.
I think the last time it happened was at Georgetown.
Yeah, we were part of it. we were on the wrong part, so I guess it can be done.
That was a bad night, wasn't it?
that was a really bad one. I remember that was COVID, and then they
it
took
was.
They took us out about midnight that night to the airport.
Yeah,
and we flew to Indy.
Straight to Indy. And we were in the hotel for 32 straight days together.
Yes.
I heard you say it was the best.
Specifically?
Lou's, if you've listened to any of his interviews, he talks about getting to spend 32 straight days with me was the best time of his life.
That was
many are saying
that was far and away 32 of the worst days.
Yeah, I don't doubt. Trust me, I knew what that actually.
Whether Casey was there or not, it was 32 of the worst days of my life.
When we were in New York,
not putting any heat on him.
When we were in New York last year, I made sure we got separate rooms for a specific reason.
We did. Look, we did kind of make the Sweet 16 for the first time that year, right?
We did. We made the Sweet 16 and then ran into Gonzaga.
They're pretty good that year.
It was. That was.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Seton Hall game.
You guys. Let's actually move on. You guys get ready to head out to Chicago to take on DePaul. We're in this weird trilux where we're heading out of town, coming back, heading out of town, coming back before we even get ready to go to New York. How does shooting this well at home become affected by having to go on the road in the next couple of days?
Yeah, hopefully it gets some guys some confidence.
Sure.
I mean, Isaac hasn't shot the ball great, and then he comes out, and
it's
so funny that before the game, Coach Huss had been telling him, like, you're getting 5 tonight. You're getting 5.
Oh, wow.
And so at halftime, he said, I wish I would have told him he's getting 10.
Yeah. He got 6.
Yeah.
I guess he owed Huss one.
It was good to see the stroke back. He had great arc on the ball. It was you see him smiling a little bit.
Sure. You can tell he's feeling it.
Yeah. It was not, I mean, it was great for all of us, but it was really great for Isaac.
And I want to point this out. We didn't bring this up yet, but he made his first 5 and he went for his 6th and he pump faked.
Yep.
And then he got it in to Nick and made the right read. So it tells you something about Isaac Trout, the human being, but also how the system works, that guys can be selfless in a situation where anybody in the world would have been calling for a heat check in that situation. Yeah. Made the right play.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not getting a better guy than Isaac Trout.
Sure.
I mean, when you just talk about good people, he's cream of the crop, man.
And you look at DePaul coming in or going to DePaul for a long time. Lou, DePaul's kind of been like the get right game, and now they're not. I mean, I know that they lost today, but they've been they've been hurting lately, but they're a good team.
They have good talent.
They're well coached.
Very good.
Can you talk at all about this matchup, kind of maybe some things you've seen so far?
Well, they do go a little bit how CJ Gunn goes. When he's got it going, they're a problem.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. So he's and then the inside they got a big kid Benson that's very good.
Very good player.
Those two.
Fair to say you're probably on the scout for this then?
The way we do the scout now, everybody's kind of on the scout all the time. So it's but they're much improved. They're playing with confidence. They're getting crowds, which really helps.
Yeah.
You used to always go in there and you'd have more Creighton people than you would have.
Throw a soda and not hit a body.
Yeah. I mean, for forever it's been like that. So it's.
I can remember a few games in that place where it felt more like a home game.
Yeah, it's a home game, and it's been their crowds have been great lately, and so just that alone gives I'm sure them much more confidence and things like that. And I believe we've gotten beat by DePaul one time, but these two scare me, man. They scare me.
I don't think we've lost to DePaul since you were 15. I never did.
I think we have one time.
Has it once
since I've been here?
Maybe the first year.
I guess if we lose one to DePaul this year, you guys got to bring Casey back.
Yeah, we'll have to bring him back.
Get
rid of me.
I don't. Yeah. Can you talk about Austin at all? As we can have Austin.
He hurt his how it happened. I think was last game. 2 guys dove for the ball and they rolled into him. And it's just kind of a ankle, Achilles.
Yeah, he looked like he was getting around pretty well though. So I mean, hopefully we get him back.
But
it's true.
Yeah, but that's how I know it happened last game.
Obviously, we want to focus on the future and focus on a win tonight. But can you take us back to DC and just the emotional roller coaster you guys had to go on? How you kind of handled that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Coach Mack's he's great at things like that. It's. I mean, he's just gives such an even keel, and him and Josh got a good relationship. And
Sure.
I mean, he's been through all that with Josh, and the family's been up to the hospital numerous times, and so I mean, when he got the call, and then he went and talked to Josh and gave him the choice, like, do you want it? And Josh said, "Oh no, I'm playing." And so,
did it surprise you?
Did it surprise me that he was playing?
Yeah.
It's kind of after coming to learn Josh kind of this is kind of his outlet. And so he this is what he wants to do. He wanted to be here tonight, and he felt really bad that he wasn't at practice the other day when we got back from DC, but was there yesterday, and he's part of the team. He gets it. He's like I talked about Isaac being cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Josh, pretty cream of the crop too.
Sure.
Yeah, it takes a different level of mental toughness, though.
No doubt.
To be able to do that.
No question about it.
But I also think it speaks to like the culture around the program.
Yeah,
and that it's obviously it's one of the biggest moments of his life, and the biggest impacts of his life. But to be able to just, I guess, pour yourself into the team and the team pour themselves into him, right. I think speaks volumes. And I think you kind of alluded to, we're in 4th place, but some people would think that's not enough. I hope that, I'm not really asking a question here, I'm just going off my soapbox again, but I hope that people that are watching this that are still negative understand like there is a lot more to this deal than just the games.
And I'll caveat that with we were also picked preseason to finish 6th, so you can take it from there.
So it's you take I take the good with the bad. We got a lot of guys hurt. Alexa got hurt this week. It was good to see Jackson's finally off of his crutches, so he's just got the boot on now, and JTT's going to redshirt because he's still not back full speed.
Yeah, he's sitting in the street clothes today.
Yeah, so it's he can do a few drills, but he can't do running up and down and things like that yet. So it's we got a lot of injuries. Now we got Austin joined him today.
Austin Schwartz, Josh Townley Thomas, Jackson McAndrew,
Alexa, and Liam. Yep.
Jeff Vanderloo, all on a 40-yard dash. Who's winning that race today with the way the injuries are going?
40, I'd probably have to go with JTT because he can go that's about his limit right there.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And it don't take much of a 20-year-old to beat my big ass.
Hey, let's go back to Nick. Let's go back to Nick for a second.
Yep.
I mean, you talked about some of the personalities on this team and the characters of those guys. We've seen Nick Graves be brought in here to be expected to be PG1. Gets benched, well, not benched, but moved into the second spot.
Moved back.
Comes back in the last couple of games. Hits a game winner tonight. What can you say about Nick Graves?
That's kind of what he does. He makes shots.
Sure.
That's who he's a scoring point guard. Now Mac was hugging him afterwards, and Mac is he goes at Nick a lot about his defense, and but it was great to see that, and it's great for Nick. I mean, it's so good to see those guys smile. It's been a tough 10 days.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to end it, Lou.
Hold on. I got one more. Sorry. I got one more. So just really quickly, 93, 86, 85, 76. Those are the last 4 games of the opponent scoring.
That's too many.
That's the points they've scored. Tonight, held to 68. What was different about the defense tonight?
I thought our effort was much better, although they did go on 8 possessions in a row.
I wasn't going to bring that up again.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that. But we were in a while there was the Providence and like the games you just brought up. And Max, like, what do you think? I said, you're not going to win games consistently when you give up 90 points in a game or 80, high 80s. It's just not conceivable to do. You have a little bit of an off night offensively. You can't catch up. And some of that some of the rebounding we certainly understand, because we're so undersized at that position. And now Owen's kind of coming back a little bit, and
he's moving better.
Yeah, he's moving better and all that. And he'll break out here one of these nights, and so that we're at least able to play with a true center.
Sure.
And probably the happiest person of all will be Jason Green.
Yeah, he finally moved back to the 4, huh?
Yeah.
Creighton assistant coach Jeff Vanderloo joined us on the Coach's Corner presented by Sonovation. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, fellas.
On the win. Thank you very much. That's going to do it for us here as well. Creighton wins tonight 69-68 over the Seton Hall Pirates. We'll be back for the DePaul game. I almost said Purdue. They don't play in the Big East famously. The DePaul game.
Thank God it's not Purdue.
Yeah. For the DePaul game, don't forget to join us at halftime. We'll also have one of the other assistant coaches. I believe it's Trey Ziegler. They'll be joining us for the DePaul game. Don't hold me to that. We'll check after this show. But don't forget to like and subscribe to Big East Energy. Head over to homeapparel.com. Get yourself some throwback gear. It's not just Jay's gear. Maybe you're a fan of several different teams around the country and you like wearing their swag. Homefieldapparel.com has it for you. I'm Jimmy Allen. That handsome devil is Casey Matthews. We appreciate you joining the show. Jays win, Jays win, Jays win. We'll see you next time.